Welcome back, all my Minecrafting friends. It's time for the Day 5 player update of the November 2014 Minecraft Hardcore Challenge, the Super Max Challenge. And let's start right off with CJ. CJ started his episode by cutting wood, and then he made a bunch of iron doors and a bunch of iron bars, so he's going to have some fancy cells, I think. Then he went for a walk in the plains. He found a horse, got the horse. He rode across the plains to the forest. Then he found a plains village. There were no books there, so he collected some vegetables. Then he went to a temple, got the goodies, including diamonds. Then he went to another temple. Then he found another plains village, and this one had books. And then he found some pumpkins, and then he went to another temple. He hadn't raided the last temple at the end of his video, so we'll see what's in that one at the beginning of his Day 6. Next we have Magic Dad 76 in his single player solo world. He was caving, and then he came back to the village, made iron bars and iron doors. Then he spent the evening fighting mobs in the village. And at the end of his episode, he built a cell. Very fancy cell, but just a single cell. Like a single cell organism. Well, he's got a single cell prison so far, but I'm sure it will be a multi-celled prison soon. Next we have Team Suicide. Team Suicide, made up of OG Games, Viv Cakes, and New Azusa. They were building cells. They're building 4x4s, so pretty good sized cells. They made a big sandstone wall around the village, and New Azusa was killed by lag. So I don't know if that really counts as being killed, but he's out of the world because he's playing in hardcore mode and it won't let him log back in. But I mean, if they could get him back in, I would be okay with that, because you know, it's like nothing was happening on the screen, everything was locked up, you know, and then he logged out, logged back in, and it said he was dead. So not really fair. And next we have Baker Bell. Baker Bell found a plains village at the edge of the desert. This one had books in it, so she got books. And then she lost her horse. She went in to get the books, she came back out and walked around the village like 3 or 4 times, and her horse was gone. Wandered off, I guess. So then she went wandering in the desert, lost, didn't know which direction to go, didn't know what coordinates to go towards. She found a temple, then she went caving, and then she found another temple. And the last temple that she found at the end of her episode is the one that is within sight of the home village. So, Baker Bell, if you're watching, you're almost home. And next we have Lanio. Lanio worked on his prison and trying to get the villagers to go to the prison. His prison's built outside the village, as several people have done, and he's having trouble getting them to go to the village. So I had a couple of ideas about this. You can make little like troughs and put a water block on one end and it washes them down. Or if you're trying to go uphill, you can make single wide staircases with steps, and you can just push them along that, just as if you were pushing them down a hallway. They push right up. You can even push them up a ladder if you need to get up levels. Okay. Also, next on the list is Psycho SFK and Crazy Kenzie. They went back to the village, and then they cut some wood. Then they did some mining. They got gold, redstone, lapis, and diorite. Next we have Kidda Plays and Draco Wolfclaw. They are making a very large prison, probably the biggest one in the challenge. So far, they're still working on the foundation. Okay, and their prison is also outside of the village, so they're going to have quite a challenge in getting the villagers to the prison. And Kidda killed a witch by herself. First one she ever killed, and it was very impressive. Okay, next we have Haven Hext, Amy Chatters, Voodoo Beard, and Talbotron. They finally got their nether portal working and went to the nether, picked up some glowstone, some quartz, and then they came back and worked on prison cells. Did not find a fortress. Okay, next we have Cell N Gaming and Dan Plays. Cell N Gaming and Dan Plays worked on a big wall around the village, and they have a very strange looking gate. Their gate to their village, or to their prison, is got like a gold block in it and some other kind of block and some sand, and I don't know, it's weird looking, but check it out, see what you think. Next we have Friar Nurgle. Friar Nurgle was cutting wood in his episode, and then he's tearing down houses for materials. He managed to lock up a few more of the villagers, and that was his episode. Okay, next we have Cyan 93. Cyan 93 spent his day 5 caving, running through caves, collecting materials, getting blown up by creepers. Yes, sorry to say, Cyan is out. Death by creeper, which I think is pretty much the rule for the MHC. I think over 50% of our deaths are from creepers. Next we have the team of Sonic 306 MC and Max. They are trying to push all of their villagers into a hole together, into one hole. And of course the villagers are not cooperating, so they're having villager mayhem. Next we have Nova Cookie 232. Nova Cookie found a swamp because he was looking for a swamp because he needs leads, so he can put a lead on a villager and pull him to the prison. Now, I'm not even sure if that's going to work. Do leads work on villagers? I don't know. But he didn't get any leads because there were no there were no slimes at the swamp at night. And apparently on new moons and full moons, slimes don't spawn in swamps. And day 5, the night of day 5, turned out to be a new moon, and there were no slimes. Okay, so I learned something new. Next we have the team of Technoscribe, Momo, and Frank. That is Mom of Miners and Frank and Honest, also known as Mike Deadman. They went to a temple and got the goodies. And happy birthday, Momo. It was her birthday on day 5. They've got all the villagers in one house now, and they're starting to put iron doors on their prisons cells. So iron doors. Next we have John Fall 92. John Fall 92 is making cells. He's using glass panes, so they're really fancy cells with nice windows. Then he went and did some mining, then he came back up and locked up some of the villagers, and then he started tearing down houses for materials. Okay. Next we have El Draconis. El Draconis started out his episode by mining, then he worked on his cells, and using diamond tools, saving a lot of time. He's doing things very efficiently with his diamond tools. Yes. Next we have PB Plays Inside. PB worked on her perimeter, which she decided to have a little half-block high perimeter, which anyone can walk across, just as a line in the sand to say, you cross this line, you're inside the village, and you're under my authority. Okay. Next, she built a watchtower on the edge of the village so that she can see everything from there, and she can see the village from a distance, and it's like an imposing structure over the village. And then she went mining cobble. Lots and lots of cobble. Next we have the team of Phil Bunn, Steampunk Mage, Bandy, and Beto. Now, I want to apologize to Bandy for messing up her name the last player update. Her Minecraft name is Bandicoot, and her channel name is Bandy the Beast 007. So, sorry about that. Okay, they went to the Nether. They found a fortress. They came back with the goodies and made a brewing stand. But unfortunately, they don't know that much about brewing, and they thought they needed nether wart, which they don't. They don't know how to make a fermented spider eye, and they don't know how to make a potion of weakness. But maybe by day 6 they'll have figured it all out. Okay. Next we have Star of Wisdom. Star of Wisdom worked on building his cells. Next we have the team of Cherry Bitters MC, Bat Heart MC, and Skywise. They went to a temple, got the goodies, including diamonds, got back to the village, and are locking prisoners up in cells. And they have one house full of zombies, because apparently they had a house full of villagers and there wasn't enough light in there, and zombies spawned in with them and turned them all into zombies. So now they have a house full of zombies. I think they said 7 of them. So that was unfortunate. And finally we have the solo world of New Azusa. New Azusa is doing this challenge without a sword. He's fighting his mobs barehanded for the most part. He's killing cows. I guess he didn't see the rule about passive mobs. And he raided a temple. So he's making progress outside of the village. And I know it's too early for the to talk about next month, but let's talk about next month. Next month, several people have said that they're tired of building challenges in the MHCs, and actually I'm with them on that. I'm tired of building challenges myself. And Max pointed out in one of his single player videos, Max Ryder that is, that building challenges don't really work out that well in a hardcore challenge in MHC, because, well, you don't have enough time, and it's just, you don't do your best work. Okay, so building challenges. If you're tired of building challenges, you're going to be happy in December. If you're tired of challenges where you don't have a clear measurement of success, well, then you're going to like December. Okay, if you're tired of challenges where there's just no risk involved, well, then you're going to be really happy with December, because December there is a lot of risk and a clear measurement of success and no building involved. And also, if you're tired of challenges where you just are looking at the same terrain all the time and the same biome, and you'd really like to see some new stuff, well, then you're really going to like December. Okay. And then in January, okay, December is called the Great Race. January of 2015 is the Underground Challenge Reloaded, where I correct some of the mistakes I made in the original Underground Challenge. Okay, and in February of next year, we're doing the Merchant of Minecraft challenge. So that is the future of the MHC. I hope you invite all your friends and all your enemies alike to join up and play with us. This is Mike Deering signing out.